Southeast Pennsylvania is going green, and the Real Trends list is reformatted in 2020. Tune into Toole Time right now. I'm Tom Toole. She's Jess Lion. We are back on Toole Time. We're still distanced. We're still masked. We're following all the codes, and especially relevant today because Pennsylvania, Southeast Pennsylvania specifically, the greater Philadelphia area, is going green on June 26th, except the city. What do you think about all this, Jess?
So I find it really interesting. First, I'm excited. I'm excited for gyms to be open. I'm excited for me able to get your nails done, haircut, things like that. Starting to get back to what the new normal will be. That is my big question about all of this. What will the new normal be? Because people are saying, hey, well, it's never going to go back to the way it was. And those kind of, when people say that, that's kind of like concerning and scary because you want it to go back, right? Like, how long do you have to wear masks in stores? And of course, you want to keep yourself safe, keep your family safe, keep others safe. But we have to go back at some point. I started going to restaurants again.
Yes, what was that like? I'm curious because I have not been.
So I've been probably like 5 or 6 times already. But I couldn't wait to get out there. And it doesn't make too much sense to me because it's outside seating only for the places that I've been. And they say you're 6 feet away, but you're not 6 feet away. Your server's not wearing a mask. Some servers are wearing a mask. It's just a little bit confusing, as has been this whole experience. It's good to get back out there. If you're comfortable, I think you absolutely should. And just, take every precaution you can.
So, going green, I mean, I think the most important thing here is these salons, they're allowing indoor dining up to 50% capacity. But to me, the salons, the barbershops, and those sort of places, they need to open.
Yeah.
One, for their businesses. Two, it seemed like they were the new real estate over the past month. Like, I mean, there was other states where New York had really restrictive things going on, and they were able to go get haircuts a couple weeks ago. So I'm glad to see they're opening. I know they're going to be busy. There's a lot of people looking to get groomed and do the stuff that makes them normally feel good. So I get some therapy, if you want to call it that. So I like that.
They're booked out all the way until like mid-July already for my place anyway.
Well, yeah, I emailed the owner of the salon I go to, and she's starting to schedule appointments tomorrow, and I hit her up as soon as I heard this.
Yeah.
So now I think that you bring up a relevant point. There has been no talk of what happens after the green phase. There's no plan. I don't know what's next. How long does it stay green?
Yeah.
Is there a case number? New Zealand came out and said they've beaten the virus. It's gone. It doesn't exist anymore. At least in New Zealand. Now, they're an island, so they have a little bit of an advantage there. I want to know what's going to happen after green. And unfortunately, the governor has not answered this question despite being asked numerous times. And it's a big question for a lot of people. I mean, what's that going to look like? And with the restaurants opening, I think indoor is cool, but what do you got to do? Put a mask on if you got to go to the bath? Like, where can you go to the bathroom at these places? Like, how does that work? You've been out. I haven't.
Well, you can go to the bathroom. I know in Rich's restaurant, he owns a Bonefish down at Egg Harbor Township. As long as you're eating outside, you can go in. I think they have like a one at a time kind of policy where you can go in and use the bathroom. You don't have to wear a mask in the bathroom or anything like that. So, in the places where I've been, you didn't have to wear a mask to use the bathroom. So,
okay, interesting.
It's just everybody's doing something different, so it can get a little bit confusing.
Well, and that's what's been unclear. It's that, okay, and they're also allowing outdoor gatherings up to 250 people. So
I don't know when, like, the sports, the concerts, the markets, the festivals.
Well, that can start too. Outdoor group recreation and sports activities are allowed to start.
50% occupancy?
Well, it doesn't say about like fans or anything like that. So there's not answers here.
Yeah.
And outdoor performances and events, you can have up to 50 people. So I mean, it's
weddings. Come on now.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I've seen weddings in like parks, like down the street from my house, where people are just going and doing it. So the issue we're going to run into here is that, and schools are opening as well. So like summer school is going to start, and camps are going to start for kids that are run by the school district. So there's all these things happening. But a lot of it's based on outdoors. So there needs to be some sort of message coming out from the governor saying, here's what happens after the green phase. And that's not happening right now. And that's the biggest question I know that people have.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like it was this big, when we get to the green phase, and in my opinion, the green phase isn't exactly what I thought it would be. I thought green phase was going to be like, let's go back to normal life, but it's not. I mean, that's fine. It's going to take a little bit more time, but I do want to know when that's coming.
Well, we'll wait to find out because we don't know now. So some real estate news. I thought this was very interesting. The Real Trends list. It's the Real Trends in Tom Ferry, the 1,000 is what it's called. And they rank the top 1,000 agents in the country. And they base it on teams, individual agents. And then they rank them by number of units sold and dollar volume. So to account for all different kinds of markets. Because there's some people that sell a lot of homes at a low price point. Some people that sell not as many homes at a high price point. So it meant to be all-inclusive. So they switched things up this year, and they have a new format which grouped teams differently, where teams were broken into teams of 2 to 5. That was a small team. Medium is 6 to 10. Large is 11 plus. And it also includes agent-owned and team-owned brokerages. And the reason they did this, according to Steve Murray, is that there's size is a function of business in some cases. Not all the time, because I know there's a lot of teams that are huge that don't do a lot of business relative to some smaller teams that have higher per agent productivity. So this is a big shift from what they used to do. And I've got one thing here I love, but what do you think about all this, Jess?
So, in my opinion, after reading this article, I was like, this is great. They switched things up, but do I really care that they switched things up? Not really. What I found interesting was at the end of the article where Murray said that he found an increase in qualifying teams. So in the past years, he said that there had been about 2/3 of overall rankings were made up of individuals. But this year, that leveled out closer to 50-50 individuals versus teams, which I thought that was really exciting, especially for us. I mean, we're in a team, and I feel like the team is going to outbeat an individual agent just because there are so many reasons why. One, because you strategize. I mean, there's just more of you. When one agent's sleeping, another person can be out or answering a call or something like that. I get really excited for teams after reading this article. It's inspiring seeing what individual agents do in terms of like number of transactions and their sales volume. But in my opinion, team is like the way to go, and it's going to be coming up, hopefully switching to 2/3 in favor of teams soon.
Yeah, the interesting thing I saw here was that there was some people, they actually went in and like researched it, and they said they were an individual agent, and then it came out they were a team, and they vetted those people out
So
based
they're
on like
being
their
sneaky.
marketing and their. Well, there's a lot of people that do that. They say, "Oh, I'm an individual
I saw
agent,"
that, yeah.
but then they have 2 other agents working with them as buyer agents. They don't list them on their website, that sort of thing. So I appreciate they went a little deeper on that for sure, and that to me is pretty important. You know, the size I do get, because a team with 2 or 5 people isn't going to be able to do the same stuff as a team with 11. So I do like that. And then what I also kind of noticed here too is that you're going to see. You mentioned the trend with teams. You're going to see more people if they're really trying to scale their business. There's only so much one person can do.
Right.
So it's going to be impossible to really scale a business if you're not a team. And there's people on this list doing 3,000-4,000 transactions on, Robert Slack, who I've met a couple times. Great dude. He's down in Florida. They did almost 4,000 transactions last year, and there's no way to do that without the right people. So if you really want to scale your business, it's going to have to be a team. And if you want a better quality of life, that's where teams can come into play too. Because an individual agent, you're the one running around doing all the stuff yourself.
Imagine what you could do as an individual agent. You're doing like 80, 90, 100 transactions, and then you start a team. It's just amazing.
And it depends what people's goals are. I mean,
Yeah.
that's going to be the other factor here.
Sure.
I appreciate what they did here, because a lot of times there was, there's always someone that tries to game the system, right? Where I'm the number one individual, but then they really have a team and they put everything under their name or whatever else. And the MLSs have actually allowed for more flexibility there, where you can put 2 agents on a transaction side now instead of 1. To me, really valuable, because it allows for the recognition to go there for the right team members. And the MLSs are sometimes the most inflexible people. So I was glad to see that they've started to work that way as well, so the reporting can be just more accurate. I mean, that's all it is. Because everyone's got a different way of telling you they're number one, but a lot of people aren't.
100%. I have a great quote to go along with this article.
What is it?
Well, you're going to like this one. Michael Jordan, You know him?
I know Michael Jordan, yes.
Talent wins games, but teamwork and intelligence wins championships.
I mean, that's, talent. I mean, how many times have you seen someone talented that had no work ethic or didn't have the right structure around them and they couldn't do anything? Even if you want to look at sports, I mean, you can take a lot of the athletes that we've seen here in Philadelphia. Same boat, because the team wasn't good enough. They had good players, but not a good team. And, I mean, the intelligence part, too. I mean, when you get more ideas presented, even if you have a healthy discussion, and people really come at it from a place of health, because you got to get buy-in from everybody, then that's where some of the best ideas come from.
Yeah, I agree. To me, this is saying that if you're an individual, you can be talented as anything, but you're going to max out, and what's going to take you to that next level is going to be different ideas, different strategies of your teammates to raise you up, and then you're all going to win together, which I think is ultimately the goal. I really like this quote. Love Michael Jordan.
Well, if you look at the way he handled that team, though, I mean, the Bulls specifically, I mean, because a lot of people watched The Last Dance. I mean, he knew that he was able to get further once they got Scottie Pippen. He could count on him. They could trust him. He could give him the ball when he needed to. And even when they had Dennis Rodman, who's out of his mind. I mean, if you ever seen like any of these like Dennis Rodman clips from the 90s, I mean, the guy was crazy. And they knew that he was going to help them win. And they had to kind of work with him, and his style of play complemented really well what Jordan and Pippen were able to do, because he played defense, he did all the dirty work, he would get like 25 rebounds a game. Like, that was like insane at the time. Like, no one was doing that. So because of that, I mean, and you look at all the role players they had, like the 3-point specialists off the bench. Those sort of things are really important for a team, and a good team has all different kinds of people that play a different role, and those are the people that win. It's the best teams win. It's not the best individual. That's why they have the MVP and then they have the championship. I'd rather be a champion every time.
Me too.
Catch you guys next week. Thanks for watching.